In the 70s, the CIA invested millions of dollars into studying mind control, meditation, and whether human consciousness could actually bend reality. The short answer is yes. It proves that your energy is the most powerful thing in the world. However, this research did not go the way the CIA had intended. They were trying to create spies with psychic abilities, but instead, they uncovered a system for how regular people can change their lives by expanding their consciousness, reprogramming their reality, and unlocking new levels of human potential. By the way, the CIA didn't create this, but they invested millions of dollars, and this was in the 70s and 80s because it was that valuable. Tesla said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So we believe in subliminals, affirmations, healing frequencies, or even Joe Dispenza's teachings to tap into the subconscious. All these ideas come out of the research from the Gateway tapes. Whenever I'm done listening to these tapes, I literally feel like a born-again baby who just took the pill from the movie Limitless. Where you're like, May, how can listening to a few tapes change your life? Well, I'm a completely different person since I started my consciousness practice, but let's only talk about what you can perceive. Have you guys noticed how much my channel has grown a lot and even that my physical looks have changed? And I'm not saying that solely because of the tapes, but more so that my mind has changed. I stopped doubting myself, I stopped being negative and getting in my own way. And objectively, I became more powerful, and the physical growth is only the smallest consequence of that. That's also what my channel is all about. I make videos like this every week talking about the physical, mental, and spiritual glow up. And the proof is in the pudding, honey. I live that life, and to me, spirit is the biggest part of it, so you can call me a spiritual bimbo. I need to warn you though, do not do this if you're not open-minded or prepared to change or grow. And I also don't think that this is for everyone for two reasons. One, you need to know yourself very well and pace yourself safely, follow all the instructions, or you might go nuts. Because if you're not ready, then you're not ready. Respect that. And two, once you open certain gates, so to speak, you can never go back and close it. So heed my advice. On the surface level, the tapes basically develop your psychic abilities. It can raise your state of consciousness, sharpen your intuition, unlock your chakras, and then as you get more advanced, you can lucid dream or leave your physical body and astral travel, all of that. And up to a certain point, some of these things you can just do on command. Or at the very least, if you don't want that, you have more vivid dreams and you learn how to lock in just by snapping your fingers. You can even alter your brain chemistry for little things, but they're not really that little. Things like mindset change, becoming smarter, becoming prettier, getting healthier, weight loss, becoming more confident and magnetic, or whatever. Or you can sense that somebody's not being true to you. You can learn how to energetically protect yourself, or you can even see what someone else is doing on the other side of the world, and that's called remote viewing. I've been studying this quite a bit, and if you're thinking like, whoa, this is so woo-woo, the government is spending millions of taxpayer dollars in the 80s. That's a lot of money, and they knew they were onto something. You know what's really woo-woo to me is being constantly programmed and brainwashed by the media that we watch, and it's mass hypnosis. So why not be in control of your own programming? So before I get into what the Gateway tapes are about, I would like to thank my sponsor of today's video, LifeZoom. I've tried all kinds of biohacks over the years, and the ones that really stuck with me is literally just nutrition, movement, consciousness practice like meditation, and red light therapy. I've been using red light therapy for years now, and I can't do without it. Both red light therapy and meditation target cellular and neurological repair, so I even like to use my panel while I meditate. There are so many benefits to this biohack, like way too many. Ever since I started red light therapy, my hair is healthy, long and thick, my skin is clear and glowing, I sleep so well on the days that I use red light, and my mind is sharp enough to cut through glass. Red light therapy has been used for years by health professionals in the US for one reason: it works. You know how the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell? The specific wavelengths of red and near-infrared light penetrate deep into the skin, reaching the cells to stimulate energy production. It increases collagen, reduces inflammation, and boosts recovery time. This is the Vera series from a new US brand called LifeZoom. The same science that's used in medical clinics you can now use at home. The numbers are real. LifeZoom's irradiance is measured and verified, so you know you're getting real results, and that's the most important part. In fact, one session with LifeZoom equals 2 with typical devices. Plus, it's flexible, skin-friendly, and so easy to use, whether it's flat, curved, on sand mode, or as a belt. I can target my back one day, my face the next day, all with one device. Just 10 to 20 minutes a day, and you're integrating science-backed wellness into your routine. It's one of the best investments I've ever made for my health. So if you're interested, check out LifeZoom and my link in video description. So what is the Gateway process? The Gateway process is a training system developed by the Monroe Institute that uses meditation-like techniques combined with sound technology to alter your state of consciousness. Although the tapes have been around since the 60s, the CIA project itself is called the Stargate Project, and this was kept a secret from the average person until the documents were declassified in 2003. And those declassified documents are actually written by the US military, and I'm fascinated with stuff like this because I'm a military brat, and nobody tells you this, but the military is very woo-woo. They understand that physical warfare is only half the battle, and that's what this video is about. And it sounds like sci-fi, but it's real. The mind is the real battlefield. They were using this program as a tool for psychological warfare, exploring a more tactical and stealthy way to basically gather intelligence without causing mass casualties or damages or spending resources on weapons or everyone in the world knowing about it. So if you want to listen to the Gateway tapes, I found them for free on YouTube, Spotify, and it's also the same thing with declassified CIA documents. You just read them on the CIA website. It's all there on the internet. So there are 4 principles to the Gateway tapes, and there's different levels of focus that you can reach. And the first focus is called focus 10, where you feel like your mind is awake but your body is asleep. Even with the first few tapes, eventually you can practice how to switch into different states of focus almost immediately just by coding it with your thoughts. Meaning, like, after a few times, you can get into that state instantly with one command, and you don't have to advance through the entire thing if you're not ready to, like leave your body, for example, because I've been doing the first stage, focus 10, forever, and even that alone helped a lot. And like I said, if you're not ready, respect that. Then means you're not ready. So first there's hemisync or binaural beats, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about, and the tapes sound like waves and it helps to synchronize your brain waves. You're gonna need headphones on stereo mode to listen to these tapes because binaural beats involves transmitting 2 different frequencies in each ear. And then there's rhythmic full body breath work with binaural chants like the Om sound, which you use to enter that altered state of consciousness. So with breath work, you're breathing in new energy, you're throwing that all over your body and around your head, and then you're breathing out stagnant old energy. The chanting actually comes from Eastern philosophy and also transcendental meditation. So in order to have metaphysical experiences, you need to put certain logical processes of your brain to sleep first. And I like to say this sometimes, your intuition and your logic are constantly at war with each other. Literally, you need to shut up your inner critic. And given the nature of these tapes, this is non-negotiable. And the chanting itself uses different tones in an attempt to tune your brainwaves the same way that you will tune a musical instrument. And I listen to the Gateway tapes to meditate whenever I'm feeling bad or tired or lazy, and it completely just resets me. But yeah, most importantly, when it comes to these tapes, you have to always remember you are the master of your own reality, but you also need to protect yourself. So definitely do not skip the steps to protect yourself energetically. And this is the 4th principle, using energy tools like the energy conversion box, the energy balloon, and an affirmation. Basically, every meditation starts with this protocol, and it's very important for your safety and you cannot skip it. So first, you imagine an energy conversion box or ECB, which is a container of all of your problems and anxieties, trauma, whatever is bothering you, your doubts, like literally compartmentalize and put everything into this mental box and close the heavy lid. This is also a hack for whenever you're feeling overwhelmed or feeling really negative. And then recreate a REBAL, which is a protective energy bubble that you visualize around your body. So this is like an energetic shield, and it's mandatory because this is how you can focus and protect yourself. It's actually crazy how well it works. Like, you can even use it in real life. Like, for example, if I'm ever in a sketchy situation, I just turn on that energy ball, and there were a few times where this actually saved my life. I'm not even kidding. One time I was on my scooter and a car was about to make a sharp turn into me. Intuitively, I whipped out an energy shield around me, this white light around my body, and it just kind of cushioned the impact, and the car only somehow missed me by like a micro inch, and I felt that car like brush up against my scooter, but it just barely missed me. You can also use this with people, by the way, with bad vibes, or if you're about to fight with someone, or even to protect someone, you can send that energy ball to them. Yes. And we should also talk about the Gateway affirmation and what it really means. So this is the last step that you do before you enter your state of consciousness. Basically, you state your intention, which is the affirmation, and I'm gonna go over this in parts. I am more than my physical body because I am more than physical matter. I can perceive that which is greater than the physical world. So once you realize that you are more than your physical body, you will also realize you are more than physical death. And you will start to think to yourself, what is real? Is real something tangible, like the thing that you can see in front of you and feel and smell it? What about me? Am I real? If you're watching me through the screen, the more you think about this, the more you're going to question what is real or reality. Reality at some level is just electrical currents or signals that your brain receives, and it turns it into seeing things and feeling and the ability to smell. Even physics says everything about your body can be described as energy and energy system. And then you start to realize that there's levels to your reality. There are 2 worlds that we live in. One of them is concrete reality, which is what we can see in front of us. And then that's just one way that reality can show up for us. Everything in your life is simply the way it is because of the meaning that you can see in it. Because some people, they can look at the exact same thing and still see completely different things. For example, a colorblind person might not even see a rainbow while you can. Or even your life right now can be either someone else's dream life or another person's complete nightmare. The point is, nobody can see what you see even when you're looking at the exact same thing. Therefore, I deeply desire to expand, to experience, to know, to understand, to control, to use such greater energies and energy systems as may be beneficial and constructive to me and to those who follow me. Because you are more than physical matter, you can also perceive greater things in the physical world. So if you want to expand consciousness and experience and understand and use these energies in a way that can be constructive to you at a deeper level, there's another level of reality that we cannot physically see in front of us, but then everything dissolves into pure energy and it's all interconnected where everything is contained in everything. So even you as a person, you're as small as a speck of dust in the planet Earth and then as big as the universe at the same time. We're all connected as individual units of a much larger stream of consciousness. Even certain cultures or certain religions or countries, entire countries can have a certain state of consciousness. And apparently not everyone has an inner dialogue, which is super shocking to me when I first learned about that because my mind is super loud all the time. Like at first, I thought that my inner monologue is just me talking to myself, but then I realized that I was actually also talking to my higher self and also to higher consciousness, and your mind is a direct channel to that. Crazy, right? That's a part of self-awareness actually, which is the ability to observe the ego and detach and separate it from the other parts of your psyche. And I'm gonna teach you how I can tell the difference, okay? It's easy. So think of your brain as a car and you're the driver. So if your inner dialogue is anxious and repetitive or negative, like you're constantly beating yourself up over something, that's your ego talking and she's basically the passenger princess. If it's peaceful and compassionate and it gives you like a new perspective that you haven't even thought of before and just kind of comes into your head like that, to me, that's like divine guidance and it's always there sitting in the back seat of that car. And if you think about it, your higher self will not beat you up or make you feel some type of way, the way like your ego does. So whether I hear it or not, it's basically up to whether my ego decides to shut up or not. And how you do that is to focus your mind to find the presence of your divine guidance instead of focusing on your ego. You're already controlling and using energetic systems whether you know it or not. So now basically, would you like to take it into the next level? If not, then maybe a deeper part of you is saying like, maybe you're not ready for it and that's okay. Also, I deeply desire the help and cooperation, the assistance, the understanding of those individuals whose wisdom, development, and experience are equal or greater than my own. I ask their guidance and protection from any influence or any source that might provide me with less than my stated desires. Basically, you're calling upon something greater than you and asking for protection from whatever doesn't serve your highest good. Personally here, I like to modify a bit and say that I ask for help from God because why would I want anything less than that? This has nothing to do with being religious, by the way, because I am very agnostic, as in like I'm spiritually humble. So God to me is actually known as all that is. And to me, like if you go all in on the highest power, this way I protect myself from the energies that I don't want through God energy because nothing else is greater than that. Anyways, whether you think that this is too out there or not, you cannot deny that energy is all around us. And I'm very sensitive to that. I can literally see people's energy coming out of their heads sometimes and I can sense that as well. So because I lived in cities for all my life, I learned to develop energetic boundaries and block energy if I need to, or even to bring awareness to it when it serves me. Like I know you see me and I see you back sort of thing. Obviously, it's always good to be skeptical and ask questions while still having an open mind, which will help you build discernment. Your mind becomes especially sharp when you're using it as a tool, both objectively and also intuitively. So within those affirmations, we're using empowering and definitive language like to control and to use because you need to have control of your own energy system. You need to be the master of your universe. This is important, especially when it comes to that energy balloon, which protects you, and you need to know how to have firm boundaries. So when you're in command like that, you are expressing confidence and self-discipline because we're much more powerful than we tend to think that we are. And this is true for everything. We never give ourselves enough credit and the fact that we have the capacity to speak our thoughts into truth. And by the way, if you think that expanding a reality is evil or demonic or whatever, that's based on your emotions and specifically based on fear. And if you're not ready for this, and again, like I think it's valid to think that way, and don't do it, right? But if you're curious to learn more about what happens the further down you go, you can also read about it. Like for example, we can read Robert Monroe's Out of the Body series if we want to get a feel for what he experienced and how and why he created the Institute. So his intent was to systematize the expansion of consciousness and make these experiences accessible to people on a broader scale. And the whole point of doing this is in the way to help people become more empowered and awake on a mass scale, as well as to provide the tools that we may need to support and uplift humanity in our own way, if that's how you choose to use it. Not really to stalk your ex, but if you want to do that, that's on you. But the intention behind it is everything. And I think that's a subject for a whole other video. But long story short, intentions are everything. You can even ask your higher self, by the way, is this person I'm watching on YouTube right now, does she have my highest good in mind? And the same goes for every situation. You can always question the intention of it. My own experience of it overall has been really positive because I protect myself, and then I'm not ready. I eat my spiritual humble pie and I don't advance. I've only really heard of negative experiences from people who either ignore the ECB, the energetic conversion box, the REBAL, energetic balloon, or the affirmation, or people who get too cocky with it. You have to respect it. But I would say that things got much more expanded to me in general, and I've never learned so much in my life in such a short time, and I grew so much as a person, including thinking back, things like I was losing weight with no effort, I was quitting bad habits with no effort, I resolved a lot of bad schemas, basically beliefs about myself that was rooted in fear and anxiety, and I was able to spot that. I was even able to change certain things about myself physically. Like there was a period when I could have gotten really, really sick and in pain and even at risk of unaliving, and I did not focus on the pain at all to the point where I forgot that I was even in pain. I've dealt with some crazy up and down things of my health, you guys, so I personally have been through a lot about that, but overall I feel much more safer, secure, more open to experiencing new possibilities, and I feel very much in control of my life in a way that I never thought was possible. I really stepped into my power big time, but I also imagine that this is going to play out differently for everyone. So I think that if you're meant to go through spiritual awakening, then this is one way that you can open that for you. But again, if you're not ready, then it won't work until you are. Just remember that nothing bad can happen to you unless you allow it, and negative experiences are pure manifestations of your own fear. You have to invite that in first before you can let it affect you. We can get into nuances, but this is basically like a more generalized way of saying that. And you also learned something new today. If you fear something, put it in the box. But I also imagine that the desire to be in control of your own free will and master your mind, and also the willingness to face your fears paired with this process, the tapes, or any other process, because like I said, this is one way. I think that it will still inevitably change your life for the better. And if you made it this far, I want you to affirm with me in the comments, I am the master of my universe, and I truly believe that you're already stepping to the next level of your life, and all you have to do is to claim it. Thank you all so much for watching. I would love to hear your experience on the tapes because I'm learning new things every day, and see you in the next video.